This video is the first of a series of videos about choosing a resort in the Alps. We have over 60 resorts on our website, and often in meetings or on phone calls, clients will be asking me for advice about which resorts they should be looking at. Some clients have narrowed it down to 2 or 3 and they're asking me for advice. Maybe they should include others in their search. Some clients have a very broad canvas and have no fixed ideas. And this first introductory video is for them to give you a general feel for the criteria and how you should go approach this quest. In terms of the wish list that clients often give me, well, they're often the same things. They're looking for usually an hour, hour and a half from an international airport. They want a high altitude resort, but they also want it to be nice in summer. They want a big ski area, but they also want a nice traditional ski resort with lots of bars and restaurants and things to do. All of those things, when you add them up, well, it's what everybody's looking for. So obviously the price goes up with each box that you tick. And sometimes when they've described their perfect resort, I say, well, you've just described Verbier. And in that process, you learned why Verbier is so expensive, because it does tick so many of those boxes. So unless you have the budget for Verbier, then we have to look at compromises and see what we can suggest as a resort that would give most of the things that you're looking for, and we'll try and make a compromise to get it within your budget. The first thing, and probably the most important thing I think to make a compromise, is that 1.5 hours from the airport. They didn't build airports in the middle of the mountains, they built them where it's flat. So an hour and a half from an airport doesn't sweep in many resorts. If you increase that to 2 hours, 2.5 hours, you get a lot more results. The clients will say to me, well, yeah, I've got young kids, I don't really want to travel more than an hour. To which I would say, well, okay, just think ahead. The young kids become older kids. And don't forget, you only have to do that journey when you arrive and when you leave. So it's not something that you do that often. The other thing to think about is that in some resorts you get a little bit of that time back in a way. That's true of the traffic-free resorts. So for example, Wengen-Saas-Fee, you don't drive the car when you get there, so you get some of that time back to you. Other things you may have to compromise on would be the ski area. Are you really going to use a huge ski area? Is that absolutely imperative? You're also looking for dual season versus high altitude. That's a difficult one. Most of the high altitude resorts aren't really fantastic in the summer. Perhaps they're better choices. So it's always a question of finding a compromise between these various things which pull you. And I'm very happy to give you some advice on that. If you want to contact me and talk through these things, I can suggest some. But in the next videos, you'll find some specific suggestions for weekendable, easy access, for big ski areas, for dual season, for good for rental is something that people often ask me, and I'll deal with those in future videos. So please take a look at the list on the website and look at what's relevant to you.